Hi friends and welcome back to Together in Our Italian Kitchen. Today we're making one of the most flavorful and iconic pasta dishes from southern Italy, linguine alla Puttanesca. This recipe is incredibly because it transforms a few simple pantry ingredients into a bold, rich, and deeply satisfying sauce. We are talking about garlic, anchovies, tomatoes, olives, olive oil, and a little bit of heat that brings everything together. What I love most about puttanesca is how quickly it comes together. In about the same time it takes to cook the pasta, the sauce is ready. But despite being so simple, the flavors are intense and beautifully balanced. Savory, slightly spicy, and incredibly aromatic. Today we'll also show you a few small tips that makes a big difference, like why we grate the garlic, why anchovies are essential to the sauce, and how to perfectly combine the pasta with the sauce so every bite is full of flavor. So if you love authentic Italian pasta, stay with us until the end because this dish is absolutely delicious and incredibly easy to make. Let's start with the ingredients. Today we're using linguini. Their flat shape helps the sauce cling beautifully to the pasta. Whole peeled tomatoes give the sauce a natural sweetness and the rich tomato flavor. Anchovies melt into the oil and create a deep, savory base for the sauce. Kalamata olives bring a salty, slightly fruity flavor that defines this dish. Jalapeno or chili pepper. We like to use jalapeno because it adds a fresh, gentle heat. Fresh parsley adds brightness and freshness to the end. Garlic is the aromatic foundation of this sauce. And of course, good quality olive oil brings everything together. These are all the ingredients we need. Simple, classic, and full of flavor. When combined together, they create one of the most delicious pasta sauce in Italian cooking. Now we start by heating some olive oil in a pan. And instead of slicing the garlic, we like to grate 2 cloves directly into the oil. Grating the garlic helps it melt into the oil much faster and releases more aroma. It also spreads the flavor evenly throughout the sauce instead of leaving big pieces of garlic. Garlic is extremely important in this recipe because it creates the aromatic base that all the other ingredients build on. Now we add the anchovies to the pan. As they warm up in the oil, they slowly dissolve into the sauce. Anchovies don't make the sauce taste fishy. Instead, they create a deep savory flavor that enhances everything else. This is what Italians call umami, that rich and satisfying taste that makes the sauce incredibly flavorful. The anchovies melt into the oil and combine with the garlic, creating the perfect base for the tomatoes and the rest of the ingredients. Now we add the peeled tomatoes and gently break them apart. Using whole peeled tomatoes is important because they usually have better flavor and fewer additives than pre-crushed tomatoes. As they cook, they naturally break down and create a rustic sauce with the great texture. The tomatoes balance the saltiness of the anchovies and olives, giving the sauce its body and richness while keeping the flavor bright and fresh. At the same time, we bring a pot of water to a boil and add salt. Now we slice our jalapeno. We like using jalapeno because it gives fresh, mild heat and a beautiful flavor to the sauce. But of course, you can use any chili pepper you prefer depending of how spicy you like it. Next, we add the olive and gives everything a good stir. The olives add a wonderful salty and slightly fruity flavor that really defines puttanesca sauce. At this point, the sauce already smells incredibly. You have the garlic, the anchovies, the tomatoes, the chili, and the olive all cooking together. This combination creates a bold and rustic sauce that's full of character. Now our water is boiling, so we add the linguine. You can absolutely make this recipe with spaghetti if you prefer. That's actually very traditional as well, but we personally love linguine here because their slightly wider shape holds the sauce beautifully. Now we finally chop some fresh parsley. Parsley might seem like a small ingredient, but it's very important at the end of the dish. It adds freshness, color, and the light herbal note that balances the richness of the sauce. When cooking with strong flavor like anchovies and olives, a little bit of fresh herbs makes everything taste brighter and more balanced. Add the parsley to the sauce and give it a nice stir. At this stage, the sauce is really coming together. All the flavor are blending: the garlic, the anchovies, tomatoes, olives, and jalapeno. Puttanesca is one of those sauces that taste rustic and bold, but it's actually very simple to make. Now we add our linguine directly into the sauce. This is one of the most important steps. Always finish cooking the pasta in the sauce. When the pasta mixes with the sauce, it absorbs all those flavors, and the starch from the pasta helps the sauce cling beautifully to the noodles. Gives everything a good toss so every stance of pasta is coated. This step turns simple ingredients into a perfectly balanced pasta dish. It's time to plate our linguine alla Puttanesca. We like to twist the pasta gently with tongs and place it right in the center of the plate. You can see how beautifully the sauce coats the linguine. The tomatoes, olives, parsley, and the little pieces of jalapeno all come together to create this vibrant dish. Puttanesca is a perfect example of Italian cooking philosophy. Simple ingredients cooked well, creating incredible flavor. It's quick, rustic, and absolutely delicious. This is the kind of pasta you can make on a busy weeknight, but it still feels special enough to serve to guests. If you enjoyed this recipe, please like the video, subscribe to our channel, and let us know in the comments what Italian recipe you would like to see next. Thank you so much for cooking with us. Buon appetito!